Hello, welcome to the beginning of a series, Am I in a Bad Relationship? Um, you know, this is one of the common reasons why couples seek me out, and we do a number of processes to sort of help them. But today I want to start with just trying to help you define exactly what love is. Now, I was going through my book and trying to look and see, what I had written a long time ago. And there's some keys that you might be in love. The first key is that, if after an argument or disagreement, you really don't hold a grudge. You're able to manage the issue. You may stop for a couple of hours, maybe even a day or so, but you're able to get through it. That's when you know you're in love. You like intimacy with your partner. You like being with them, like being around them. You don't like being away from them for extended periods of time. That's when you know you're in love. You kind of think about them more than one time of the day. If you're with somebody or married to somebody and you don't ever think about them, you probably are not in love. And you will take the time to do something special for that person. But today we're here to talk about something different. And that is, are you in a bad relationship? This is a season where everybody wants to be loved. Valentine's Day is that kind of holiday where we give candy and flowers and all of that. But the spring brings on different feelings, feelings of rejuvenation, feelings of happiness. So a lot of people are going to be looking for that special someone or to reignite those relationships. But I want to talk about some things that may need to be addressed if your relationship is having some difficulty. The first thing I want to talk about is communication. Poor communication will really cause problems in a relationship. Well, what do you mean? You have to be able to exchange. You got to be able to listen to your partner, listen to your wife, your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend. Listen to them. Hear what they have to say, because sometimes, just hearing them out could help sort of process some of those issues. So poor communication is one of those things that can really signal that you're in a bad relationship. Infidelity. Now, when we think of infidelity, the first thing we think about is those little hookups after work, or But there's also emotional and financial infidelity. For example, if you got a friend that you are spending a whole lot of time with on the phone, and it's a friend of the opposite sex, sometimes the same sex, and you know that you're in a relationship, that can be seen as infidelity. Even when it comes to money. If you're loaning too much money to a particular friend, there may be no sex involved, but that could be infidelity. Cash flow problems. Now, let me tell you something about money. Money can cause problems in relationships. So you really have to set very good boundaries. This is the budget. This is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Because when you start going above and over the boundaries of finance, it can be a problem. You have to set boundaries. You have to know just how much credit card indebtedness you want, because if you're in a relationship and all the credit cards are raised up and you go to buy a house, that may not happen. So cash flow problems can be an issue. Irregular sex dates. Sex is a very important part of a relationship. So if you're not taking care of your spouse, they may be frustrated. They may be irritable, and they may even be angry. So you want to be able to, you know their body, they know your body. So you need to be sure that you are maintaining that level of intimacy, because oftentimes it affects a lot of different areas when intimacy is going sour. Now, one area that I have to talk about, men, is premature ejaculation. Yeah, premature ejaculation is something that causes a lot of frustration in relationships. I have treated a number of patients with that. There are treatments for premature ejaculation. So if you have that issue, you may want to see someone, because that can really cause some stress. Another issue along those lines is anorgasmia. Some women don't have orgasms. And so men, you might want to be sure that your partner is having an orgasm. You know that about 66% of women don't have orgasms. So you need to be sure that your partner is also being satisfied. It's just not like The Color Purple, he on top of me. So you should talk about intimacy, talk during intimacy, talk after intimacy, to be sure that your partner is satisfied and your partner is happy, because that is something that's very important, and it can certainly lead to problems in a relationship. Excessive working. Now, you know, we are a society where we look for things and money and travel and all this good stuff. So a lot of us get caught up in working excessively. Now, what happens when you start working these excessive jobs, you get fatigued and you get tired. You don't have time for your partner. Now, what could happen is when you decide to go back to your partner, they may not be there. So this is some time when your best friend creeps into the picture, because you were at work and you decided that work was more important than your wife or than your partner. Having a sad pal. Now, you know, sometimes you got to be careful of the company you keep, because people will talk you right out of your relationship. And that's not something you want to do, because they don't have anybody. They've never had anybody. So what they'll tell you is all of the reasons why you should leave your husband. All of the reasons why you should leave your wife. No, don't let that happen. I think that if you are in need of some counseling, be sure that it's somebody that is certified. You have pastors that have been trained. Every pastor is not trained. Yes, I said it. Every pastor is not trained. So don't go for pastoral counseling just because Reverend Too Good been around for 40 years and been married for 55 years. That don't mean nothing. There's certain caveats and certain processes that you have to do when you're going through marital therapy and marital counseling. So you want to be very cautious with that so that you can get the proper type of counseling. But don't listen to people who don't have a stable relationship themselves. Now, I want to talk about something that's also a problem nowadays: unemployment. Lack of work, lack of resources can really push on a relationship. But if your partner used to work, lost their job, there was a layoff, don't just walk off quickly. Spend a little time with them and working with them. But I mentioned these things, you know, this is a book, my book, Am I in a Bad Relationship? It's been out for a while now. People still get it, but it's a lot of good little anecdotal things in here. It's fun reading, as a matter of fact. But we really want to start this series, and I want to just open up with telling you some of the things that could be there, that could be some warning signs. But guess what? There is always hope. So we've laid out some things that you could see as possible issues headed towards the demise of a relationship. But next week, we're going to talk about something different. That's how to save that relationship. Now, I will tell you, yeah, I will do a podcast on cheating, and I'm sure you'll all be there. But remember, if you're in a bad relationship, don't give up on it. Try to work through it, especially if you're invested in that person. but identify what those vulnerabilities are and try to work through those vulnerabilities. But if it's something that there's a lot of physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, you may want to look at possibly making some change. Before you make that change, see if at all possible you can go into some therapy. And once again, a healthy mind is essential for a healthy body. Don't forget to go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell so that you won't miss any of this good stuff that we got coming down the